Donnie,
Yes.
what are you doing? We already did the video about the tax sale.
Well, there's another part of it that we didn't tell you
All
about.
right, this is a sequel to the tax sale video.
Now, y'all saw us at the tax sale. Y'all saw us in the tax sale. Y'all saw all that. Don't tell nobody. I'm glad y'all was quiet during it.
Yeah, so far they have not arrested us.
There's another part, and it is
People, we had got good comments about the crazy nature of the tax sale. Some people were very upset. We just want to clarify again, if you didn't see that video, we're not trying to buy people's houses out from underneath them. We're trying to buy properties that are no longer wanted, empty lots, places where the house burnt down, crap like that, right? Dilapidated properties. So if you didn't see that video, basically we talked about the tax sale, and we went to the tax sale and showed you them actually selling properties. This is something, of course, the government does. We don't have nothing to do with it. We were just there. Now,
yeah. If you want to get mad, you can sue the government. You can't sue the buyer.
yeah.
I mean,
So we talked about some of the crazy schemes and little games that people play at the tax sale. There was a couple that we didn't mention, but then there's another one that's even more risky and crazier than the tax sale thing that we were talking about.
but it's still a tax sale.
Yeah. So the property tax sale that we went to, if you win something, it takes a year to get it, but if you win something after a year, you get a tax deed, which is like a dirty deed. It's not a clear deed like a regular clean title deed is, because it's been through the tax sale, so it can be contested down the road. Somebody might pop up and say, hey, I didn't get the proper paperwork, that shouldn't have been sold at the tax sale, and get the damn property back, right?
You can't get no deed insurance, none of that stuff.
You can't get title insurance. You can't borrow money on it. No bank's going to lend it because they're like, hey, they might take it back, all this, right? So that's pretty crazy. There was another, we're going to talk about this. There was another game, Donnie, that we didn't tell them about. And that's the game where people owe taxes, don't pay them because they don't have any money, and then they go to the tax sale and buy their own property back, but then don't pay for it. So that's a little game that happens too. And again, we went over in the first video. Again, we're not buying people's houses and things like that. We don't want to purchase anybody's home that they live in, but there are a bunch of people that do.
Absolutely.
And
a lot of them's safe bet if you do purchase somebody's house to make the percentage.
Yeah, you're going to get interest on your money whenever they finally do pay it off.
And you hope they pay it, obviously.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people that do that. We don't deal with that. Like I said, we're looking for dilapidated properties, stuff that's just an empty lot that somebody's trying to actually sell at the tax sale and get a higher bid than they might if it was normally up for sale,
or get somebody thinking anyway.
Yeah.
And another thing you can do on that is go to the people. If you don't get the bid, go to the people and say, hey, I see your property's up for tax delinquency. Do you want to sell the property?
Yeah.
And you can try to buy it on the sideline.
Yeah.
Which is the better way to do it because
then you get a clean title.
You get a cleaner deal.
Donnie, tell them about what you're looking at right there in the paper.
This here is the delinquent mobile home taxes.
So it gets worse, folks.
So you can go and buy a mobile home that is delinquent taxes.
Yep.
Same deal. Don't pay the taxes for 9 months. It goes up to sale. You buy it. You wait a year. They don't pay it. You own the damn mobile home.
Yeah.
And here in South Carolina, you don't even need a title.
Yep.
Bill of sale will get you done.
Yep.
So
read one of them for us, Donnie. Not the name, just the tax number and the money, so that they can get an idea of what is printed in the paper.
23 Cavco.
A 2023.
2023 Cavco, 58 by 32,
That's a double wide.
double wide. I ain't gonna give you the description. I mean the actual deed number.
Yeah, because then you look it up. Yeah.
$723.
Okay, so this is somebody's mobile home that they're living in. They owe $723 on it. That means the opening bid is going to be probably $1,400.
I remember this one.
Yeah, that one went crazy, didn't it?
Yeah, it was like $70,000.
And somebody sitting there bid like $70,000 on that house.
And by the way, you had to pay for it that day.
Yeah, you got to, and you don't sign a deed, you don't sign paperwork. No. You hand them $70,000 that the county is going to keep. Now you get 12% back on it whenever they pay for it, but not for 70 grand because it wouldn't work.
No.
They bid too high.
Yeah.
So basically, you get 12% interest on the money that you bid if they redeem it, but it can't be more than the opening bid. So if the opening bid was $1,400, that's as much interest as you can get.
You could have made them pay $2,800 the next day.
So they're getting like 2%.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So why would they do that? Well, they thought they were going to get that property. We had people in there.
They might own the land it's sitting on.
Yeah, that's true. We had people in there that said, "Do I get all three of these when I bid?" And the guy's like, "No, you don't get anything when you bid." They just completely didn't understand how it works, and we're bidding tens of thousands of dollars on stuff.
Crazy money.
Crazy money. So imagine buying somebody's mobile home. You have to go evict them
And then move it.
and then move it. How much does it cost to move a double wide, Donnie?
$10,000
$10 grand.
minimum.
That's what it's going to cost.
And it might be more in this situation.
Yeah.
You going into a hostel.
Yeah, and it's full of furniture.
Yeah. It might be more.
Crazy. I don't know why anybody would bid on something like that unless you knew exactly what it was. So
The next one, 98 Fleetwood.
okay, a 1998 Fleetwood, that's more our size.
70 by 28. So it's a double.
70 by 28 is another double wide.
$725.
$725. So it's kind of a similar price. So the bid would start at $1,400 and then you'd bid on it. But let's say you win it. So the way that it would work is you win the bid, you go pay them. Let's say you bid 10 grand on it. You win the bid, you go pay them 10 grand. And then a year goes by and the people do not pay for it. Well, then in a year, the county sends you a letter and says, "Hey, you won this property at the tax sale."
Take about 13 months.
And then they'll hit you up for a little bit more money to do the deeds, but it's not much. It's like $20 or something like that. You pay them a little bit more for the tax stamps that get registered with the county, and they write you a tax sale deed for that property, and you own it with a tax sale deed. Okay, so then you got to go find it.
And hope it ain't moved.
Yeah. It's a mobile home, folks. It might not even be there. It literally, okay, let's say to the guy, find us a single wide, Donnie. That makes a little more sense.
Okay. A 93 Imperial. 67 by 14.
67 by 14, that's a single wide.
Taxes was $150.
$150. They didn't pay their $150, okay? So opening bid was $300. You bid 10 grand. We sat there and watched. That's kind of what was going on. You bid 10 grand, and then a year goes by. They send you the letter, say, "Hey, you got it. We're going to make you a deed." You get the tax deed. Now you own it. So they think it's on that property tax number that they printed in the paper. But what if it's not? What if sometime in the last year, Donnie hooked up a pickup truck to his mobile home and drove it down the street a little bit and put it in Mama's backyard?
Well, guess what, y'all? I know for a fact that one I just told you about,
Yeah.
it's been tore down. It got tore down a week and a half ago.
Oh, okay.
It was in town.
Yeah. So you just bought a mobile home that the guy that owns has destroyed after the tax sale. And think about that. What repercussions do you have? Let's say, so you buy the guy's $10,000. You bid $10,000 on the guy's trailer. He doesn't redeem it, which he should have, because then he would have got no. Oh yeah, he's playing it the right way, isn't he?
Yeah.
Smart guy. And it's dilapidated. And so the guy goes and he tears the trailer down because he's going to put a new one there. That's why he didn't pay the taxes. It's maybe that there was a fire or something. It was all screwed up.
You can't replace it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So
He got somebody.
but whatever. So the you just bought a trailer that doesn't even exist anymore. You know. So it's a very dangerous game. But that trailer tax sale is even worse than the other one.
But I guess you could, once you got the tax deed. I moved it. It's over here now. Here's my deed. You could put anything in there.
Well, what I've noticed at the sale is there are people for the trailer sales that will, one or two people will buy all of them.
Yep.
And so who's buying them is someone who actually owns a company that can move them, because that's the big expense. That's the problem that you would run into. Donnie's studying.
There's about 20 of them that is the same person, and it's
Yeah.
LLC on there.
Yeah.
So, you know all of them. And it looks like, every one of them single wide. It's 14-footer.
I guess if you got burnt at the sale, you could just let it go through the sale again
Yeah,
under your name.
that might be, all them I was just looking at,
Yeah.
that might be a lot that ain't paying the taxes on to the selling.
Yeah, I see that big list there. But if you go to the sale, you'll see one or two people that are buying all of them, and it's because they actually own the moving trucks where it's easy to move.
It's probably that place we go to.
Yeah.
I mean, they could do it real easy.
Yeah. So if it's a single wide, you pull up, you check out the axles if it's got them. If it doesn't, you add them. You put the wheels on it. You check out the tongue if it's got it. If it doesn't, you weld one on or bolt one on.
And you're gone.
And then you're gone. You tear the skirting down. You disconnect the sewer. You disconnect the water and haul off. Somebody that really knew what they were doing could do it in an hour, no problem, even if all of the axles were gone. You could be out of there in an hour.
Especially if you had a good crew, you could be out of there in 20 minutes.
Yeah. Now, double wide, completely different story.
Double wide's going to be hard because you got to get inside.
You got to get inside, and then you got to cut the entire inside apart.
Yeah.
So the way they do them when they set them up, they put trim around everything on the inside where that marriage wall is. Everything that connects together has trim around it, and it's nailed together, screwed together. You got to go inside and take all that apart. That's not a quick job. Then you got two different trailers you got to move. Plus, you really need to wrap the damn thing, because when you drive down the road with one side open, it's going to blow all that drywall and gypsum board all over the trailer. It's going to rip up everything inside, just literally the wind from when you're going down the road. So they have this heavy plastic that you're supposed to put over it. You have to get up on the roof and take the shingles apart, and then cut it apart, or at least cut the nails and the screws and things. So a double wide, some of y'all can correct me if you're working in that industry, but I would imagine at least 5 hours. At least.
I think so.
I think if they were just kicking ass, it would take 5 hours.
It might be faster if you got 15 people out there.
Yeah.
You know, but a normal crew with 3 or 4 people.
It'd take a while, man. And you got to put the axles on it. Then if it's blocked up in the air, you got to lower the thing with a jack. You know, I mean, you got to do a single wide too, but you're only doing it with one, you know.
Yeah, them little worms or whatever they call them.
What's that called? A blizzard or
No, it was
caterpillar?
no, it was
I'm gonna keep guessing. Scorpion. Maybe it was a turtle.
it was an animal.
Yeah, it was some kind of. It's a frog. Wasn't a frog, was it?
No, it was
Salamander.
salamander.
Wham! Y'all thought I was just playing games. No, I was working. I was digging through my brain. I knew it was called something, and then I thought of it.
Salamander, they work pretty quick. You go up under and pick it up, and then the truck picks up the other side, and you can knock it out. But if you're in a double wide, you got to get everything cut loose and pick that one side
Yep.
up.
Okay, now let's say you're in a double wide and it's full of furniture.
Yeah.
It's going to fall out of the damn double wide going down the road. You can't do that. Okay, let's say you're in a single wide and it's full of furniture.
Roll on.
You can kind of haul ass. You're going to make a big mess inside, but, you know, at least the refrigerator's not going to fall out in the road. You know, so it's just a whole different beast. And that there, you can't really purchase things at the tax sale that way, I don't think. It's single wide, I guess you could, but so here's the game that people play. There was only like 28 or something.
Yeah, 28 out of all.
Only 28 of them didn't pay. So a lot of these that are in the paper, a lot of those paid, right? So there was like 28 that didn't, that got auctioned. Well, you can figure that information out before the sale. Just you can look a day or two before the sale to see who's paid and who hasn't out of that list. It's actually kind of easy to do.
Yeah, this is actually in the paper. We didn't say that. This is in the paper 3 weeks before the sale, and each
week. They update it.
They update it.
Yeah. And you can also research it online. Okay. So let's say you're serious about it. Well, you drive by all of those map numbers and see if that looks like a 1998 Fleetwood to you. And if you're in that business, you probably know what it looks like. Now, you can't go on these people's property or harass them or anything. I mean, you literally get prosecuted for that. But you drive by and say, yep, that's a 98 Fleetwood, and the measurements look right. So that's the property. You can also look at historical, there's ways you can figure it out. So you can go back and say, okay, the 98 Fleetwood, how long have they been paying taxes on it, that person? Oh, okay, at that tax map number since 2005, they've been paying taxes on that. And then you go look at historical aerial photos and see that in 2005 they moved a trailer in there and it's still there, and then you drive by and it's still there. Well, that's the trailer, it's pretty,
And it's not burnt down or tore up.
yeah, it's pretty certain. So you could, I mean, if this is your business, this is your livelihood, you could drive by each one of those properties, decide if you're interested in that, see how well it looks like they're keeping it up from the outside,
Put a number on a piece of paper.
and decide what you want to pay for it. And then you have to figure into it, you got to go pick the thing up whenever it's all done. Now, getting the people evicted, you can actually do with the sheriff, but anytime, we don't want anything to do with that. We don't want to buy a piece of property where you got to evict somebody, because the problem is they're going to destroy the freaking house, What would keep them from just flooding the house, breaking all the windows, burning the damn thing down? There's a lot of things they could do just to stick it to you because you bought something at a tax sale. Now, in that situation, you would have nothing to do with it. You didn't have anything to do with them not paying their taxes. You didn't have anything to do with the county selling it at a tax sale. Yeah, you bought it, but if you didn't, the guy next to you was. So you're not the reason that it sold.
You didn't do anything. If anything, you got them more money for it.
Yeah, because you bid more, you bid up the bid. So whenever they get their refund over whatever the tax value was, I don't know if we mentioned that in this video. Let's say you bid 10 grand on a mobile home and the taxes owed was $1,000. The 9 grand extra, they actually get back. The owner gets back, even though that they lost their property. Yeah. So there's a lot to think about. Personally, I could see buying one of the mobile homes if you knew exactly which mobile home it was, where it was, etc.
The only way I could see buying one of these mobile homes, if I had a mobile home park,
Yeah.
and that house was in my park, and I knew everything about it. I knew exactly where it was, and I could watch over it for the next year.
Yeah.
It's the only way I could see
Yeah.
buying it.
Okay, you could easily, go look. Oh, okay, that one there is abandoned in the woods on this lot. They're not paying the taxes. Okay, I'm gonna bid on it at the tax sale, and then 4 months from now, somebody hauls it off the property, and you don't even know where the hell it went. And a lot of them look very similar. You might not ever find the thing.
And the only way to get the serial number is to get inside of it.
Yeah. So it's just a very dangerous game where there's only really a few people that can purchase anything at that.
I guess you could go put a tracker on the damn thing, sneak on the property and put a tracker on every one you bought. But
even then, if somebody moves that house, you're setting up a very dangerous situation for when you go trying to repossess it or pick it up.
especially if it gets out of the county.
Yeah.
I mean, in the county, you'd have a prayer's chance in hell, but once it got out of the county,
Yeah, you'd never even find it.
it would be, I
And
don't know.
then you have to fight somebody, and
And
So-
everybody's going to say, well, if they didn't have the money to pay the taxes, they ain't got money to move it. Well, maybe they sold it to somebody.
Yeah, there's tons of craziness going on. It's a weird world. So anyway, that's just another part of the tax sale that we figured we'd mention, because we didn't talk about what happens if someone sells their actual trailer at the tax sale.
Yeah, basically, they keep the trailers and the land separate
Yeah.
till you combine them. So if you don't combine them, hell, they stay separate the whole time.
Yeah.
So you get 2 tax bills on it.
And that's another thing about the other properties that we were talking about. Let's say you buy a lot of land at the tax sale and you end up getting it. You didn't get the trailer that's on it. That belongs to whoever is paying or not paying the taxes on it. So there may be somebody living in it that's paying the taxes on the trailer, but isn't paying the taxes on the land.
And think they was.
Yeah, I think there was. Or there's scenarios that I'm aware of where, yeah, you buy the land or you buy the trailer, but everybody that lives within freaking half a mile around there, including all three neighbors, are relatives of the person that you just bought their trailer. Good luck with that one.
Yep.
So you're going to go. What are your plans? You're going to evict this guy whenever his brother lives next door, his mom lives here, and his uncle lives across the street. You're going to evict that guy, and then you're going to fix up the home and rent it. Good luck with that. That's probably not going to go too well for you.
Yeah, there's a bunch of scenarios you got to be careful what you're doing. Just know what you're doing before you do it.
The best ones that you can buy are ones where you know the story. You know everything about it. Maybe you own the house next door. And you know what's going on next door. You even know the owner. You've talked to him about what's up. You know everything that's happening and everything that's going to happen. You're very familiar with that property. If you buy that at the tax sale, it's a completely different story. But if you're just down there buying random properties, you can get burnt to the tune of tens of thousands of dollars. So it's just a very dangerous kind of way to purchase real estate, especially mobile homes.
But it can be purchased. It can be done.
Yeah.
But just know what you're doing when you go to do it.
At some of those land ones, it would say like 50 acres of wooded land, right? Now, the way they used to do it 10 years ago was they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't sell 50 acres. They would say, hey, this person only owes $1,000 taxes. We're going to sell 1 acre.
And if they didn't get a bid on that, they'd say, okay, we'll sell 2 acres.
Yeah. And so they would try to help the person by like cutting an acre off or cutting 2 acres off. That was the old clerk of court or whatever. I can't remember. I guess it's the treasurer, actually. That was the old treasurer that did that. Well, or register of deeds, or they're all in cahoots, people. They're all in agreement. But that was the old regime. And then a few years back, they changed it. And so if you don't pay taxes on your 50 acres, they auction off your 50 acres.
And I'm sure it's because they cut out an acre, then the next year they cut out another acre.
Yeah.
Then the next year they cut out another acre.
And it just screws it all up, you know.
Yeah, they just got tired of it. It's hard. If you say you've got 500 foot of road frontage, it's extremely hard to cut more than about 10 pieces out of that.
Yeah.
But after that, you can't get any more access to the property.
Yeah, so it's just a big thing. And then if the Register of Deeds is doing that willy-nilly, you can see where that could be. They could sue over that and get it overturned and everything. So they don't do it anymore. So now, okay, you didn't pay taxes on your 50 acres. We're selling 50 acres for $1,000, right? And the bid just starts going crazy. So we sat there and watched them spend a couple $100,000, bid a couple $100,000 on one piece of property.
Multiple times.
Yeah, multiple times. So if that person pays, the opening bid's $1,000, the most interest they can possibly pay is $1,000. You wouldn't get the full 12%. So they go down and pay their $2,000 and get their property back. But some people, we honestly, we know, are using that as an opportunity to sell their land. They're literally holding an auction at the tax sale for their 50 acres. So if it sold for $400,000 and they said, sure, I'll take that, they have to wait a year, but they let it sell at the tax sale, and then they go down and they get a refund for the money above the taxes, which would be $398,000 or whatever.
At the very minimum, they are getting an appraisal on their land.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. So there's lots of games played. But anyway, we just wanted to do another video since the other one did so well and tell you about the mobile home tax sales, which is just insane.
And people's making money out of telling people this.
Yeah.
We should have wrote a book about
Yeah.
it.
It's one thing to buy a piece of real estate. You can go look at it and it's there and it can't move. But buying a mobile home,
Gone. Bye bye.
You can destroy a mobile home, or you could make it vanish. You know, you can't destroy a piece of property very easily. It can be done, but not too easily.
You'd have to dig a big pit in it or something.
You'd have to pour oil. You'd have to pour hundreds and thousands of gallons of oil or paint on it or something to make it a toxic dump.
Yeah, or dig a sand pit out of it or something.
Yeah.
You know. But if you like what you see, give us a thumbs up for filming. Subscribe to the channel if you hadn't already. We'll catch you on the next one.